Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member, and thank you to both of our expert witnesses. Great testimony. Last week, my colleagues on the committee, Senator Ricketts and Senator Coons, had a very insightful hearing that was focused on countering China's challenge to American AI leadership. One topic that didn't come up during the hearing that I'd like to address today is the integration of AI into all phases of nuclear command and control. AI's evolving role in all phases of strategic arms, from enhanced intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance to threat detection and decision support processing. It's likely to have both a positive and I assume negative ramifications for global stability between nuclear weapon states. So let me start with the first question. You, Mr. Billingsley, given the existential stakes at play, can you both describe Russia and the PRC's posture with regard to AI's integration, at least to the best of your knowledge, and advise the Trump administration how to address this in limitations or verification measures for AI and NC3 negotiations with Moscow and Beijing?
Senator, it is inevitable that AI will, and already is, being integrated into various aspects of the NC3 process, both the intelligence cycle. We are able to do things like coherent change detection now in an automated way that took human analysts peering at changes in imagery weeks sometimes to discover patterns of behavior. The Biden administration, the State Department under the Biden administration promulgated a series of best practices or principles for AI in military matters, which I think, and we actually looked at that, and I believe you and I agreed on this, that it was a prudent set of measures. It basically boiled down to the concept that there needed to always be a human in the loop when it comes to the actual employment of force. I am very concerned about what the Chinese may be doing in particular. My concern is even more heightened because China is moving to a launch on warning posture. And the potential for miscalculation with that posture and the fact that China has none of the risk reduction capabilities or measures that we do have today with the Russians really does create sort of a hair trigger kind of environment which AI, if not controlled fully by humans, could cause real problems.
Thank you. Ms. Gutman, I have a separate question for you. Is there anything you'd like to add to that particular point?
If I may, sir, just one note, and that is that President Biden with Xi Jinping, when they met together in Lima, they did come to the agreement that there should always be a person in the loop, a man in the loop, as Mr. Billingsley said, for nuclear command and control decision making. And I think that that was an important step forward in beginning to talk about this with our Chinese counterparts, and I do hope that the next phase of diplomacy and negotiation will take us in the direction of fleshing out exactly what that means, because technically it is a difficult matter to sort out. The other thing I would just point to, and I am concerned about it, is that the USSR and the Russian Federation have long had a predilection of doing some automatic decision-making, so to say, in their so-called dead hand system, which is, in theory, a nuclear command and control decision-making system that would enable some launch activity to occur even if there were no people still left alive. And I think that that was and could be a grave danger going forward, and so it's necessary also to engage Moscow on this key issue of keeping a person in the loop for nuclear command and control decision-making.
Great. My other question you just touched on briefly, which is the PRC. And for the most part, they've rebuffed attempts for the U.S. to engage on nuclear arms control and risk reduction, and while initiating a massive buildup. What do you think is going on here? What are their motivations? What, if anything, should the United States be doing to try to get a longer and more productive engagement with China?
Yes, I do agree, sir, and it's been very frustrating, both for U.S. negotiators, but also, I think, for U.S. leaders, for U.S. presidents, because the Chinese have been they've obviously been modernizing, obviously been building up, but they haven't been willing to talk about it, and they haven't been willing to discuss or engage in any negotiations. They are very active in multilateral settings, like the Non-Proliferation Treaty Mr. Billingsley referred to, but not on a bilateral basis. I see some signs that this could be changing. I referred to Mr. Biden's ability to meet and agree with Xi Jinping on this NC3 step. That's an important first step. And they also agreed at that time to embark on strategic stability talks, which they were not able then to convene afterwards. But I do believe, based on a number of phenomena, including the fact that President Xi agreed with President Trump to meet 2 times in 2026. This presents some opportunities now for engaging them, and the door seems to be beginning to crack open on engagement. So let us see what we can accomplish. By the way, my own feelings in this regard, I have to admit they're instinctual at this moment, come from being involved in a number of Track 2 discussions with the Chinese when they are beginning to talk now about their rationale for modernization. And we are all concerned about launch under attack, launch on warning, again, as Mr. Billingsley brought up. So I hope that going forward, they will be willing to open up more and talk to us about what their nuclear modernization is all about.
Very good. Thank you.